I'm a marketing strategist, and I know that, especially for small business owners, it's really important that however you're going to do your brand awareness work, it has to be where you feel really comfortable and where you really shine. It can't be something that feels forced or it's just going to fall flat. And so I know, knowing myself, I'm very introverted. So it probably seems odd for me to be on a bunch of podcasts, but because I'm so introverted, I work really well doing one-on-one conversations. I'm not great at trying to blast myself out there on social media or create tons of videos on my own and put it out there. I'm not good in that way. So I knew long before working with you that podcasting was going to be a great fit for me because I could have those one-on-one conversations where I kind of forget that the camera is even there. And that's where I just get to get really passionate about what I'm talking about and get really into it. But with that said, even knowing that podcasting was going to be a good fit for me, it was just this overwhelming thing. Like there are these shows that just seem, up on a pedestal and so hard to approach and so hard to figure out, okay, how do I get them to even notice me? How do I get on their shows? And, I had used tools like Podmatch before, and it was all just so time consuming and overwhelming. And so even though I was really excited about being on podcasts, it just took so much time and effort. And oftentimes I didn't even get on shows that I really wanted. So other things that I tried were things like I'm really great at events, going to conferences, particularly where my clients go for information about their industry, not necessarily marketing events where my peers are, but trade shows and things like that where my ideal clients are. That's always been a really lucrative option for me, but it's super expensive. You have to travel, you have to show up. It takes, days of your calendar, hotel costs, promotional materials, things like that. So those things work well, but it takes quite a bit of an investment. And also just content creation. I'm a writer by trade, so a lot of what I do to get the word out about our services and our method is written blogs and things like that, but not everybody likes to read 3,000 word articles. So I knew podcasting was going to be really helpful because it allows us to tap into different media that people are interested in consuming. When we first started working together, I have a team of about 19 creatives on my team, and over the years, I've learned that even though you need to hire the person who has the right skill set, the thing that's even more important than that is personality fit. And I have talked to a lot of people who offer services to small business owners like myself, and it just feels like you're a number in their system. You're just one of a bunch. All they care about is getting you to pay your invoice every month, and they really don't care about you. But when you and I met and we first started talking, I could tell you were excited about the things that I was excited about. You were really interested in helping me accomplish my goals. And you took the time not only to learn what's different about me and my agency, but you processed everything that I was just kind of throwing out there when we were putting together my media one sheet and kind of figuring out my positioning and all of that, to where you added so much value to helping me figure out what was really interesting to people, so that because there's dozens of things I could talk about in the world of marketing and psychology, but you really helped me narrow in on what was going to be the thing that would capture people's attention and really help me grow my business once I'm on these great podcasts that give me the platform to talk about it. So I could just tell you had this authentic investment in the people that you're working with, where you just really want your clients to do well. And that's not something that you get with a lot of service providers nowadays. Once we were kind of wrapping up the positioning process, and the media one sheet was in the final stretches, that was just really helpful because even though I had been on several podcasts prior to us working together, I had never felt such clarity and confidence in going into these shows because now I knew, oh, I have these talking points, like this is what people are most interested in. I had that really supportive but objective third party opinion to help guide me and make sure that when I had the opportunity to be on a show, it was going to be super valuable to me and my business. And then as you started reaching out to shows, I will say, because I run a team of creatives and everything that we do within my marketing agency is very creative, I have extremely high standards and we have tight deadlines that we do for our client projects. And I mean, we push some boundaries when it comes to what can you do in a month for a client. We do a lot. And so I'm used to being the overseer over my team and going, okay, are we hitting this deadline? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? And with you, I never had to do that. It was you were actually the one following up with me saying, hey, Ray, did you book this? Did you do this? Did you do that? Like, have you seen this? Can you confirm that this works on your calendar? And you were always ahead of me, which is so rare because I'm usually the one who's kind of driving my team. And so the level of accountability and organization that you brought to booking me on shows was incredible. It was like every few days I was seeing your name pop up in my email inbox saying, "Hey, got you on this show," and "Hey, this person's, interested in having you on," and "Oh, there's this three-part series. Let me help you figure out, what those three topics could be." And it was just so proactive. Your approach was so proactive, and I really appreciated that. And since, I mean, I've been on shows that I don't think I ever would have even had the guts to approach those shows because I I would just always think, oh, that show's way too big for me, way too big. They're never going to look at my application. They're never going to look at my email. There's no way. And yet you got me on all these huge shows. So because one of the things that's so important to me and my business's success is people seeing me as a thought leader. I am trying to do some really radical things in the marketing industry. I'm trying to change these long ingrained patterns of the way that companies treat consumers and the way they talk to them and the way they market to them. And I can't do that work. I can't change that long held paradigm without being seen as a thought leader, without having that credibility. And so the fact that you've been able to get me on so many podcasts where I get to talk about what I'm an expert in, and just that platform gives me the credibility and the opportunity to reinforce my credibility in what I do. And so it's been absolutely priceless. It's so invaluable to what my company really needs in order to be successful. And we did the initial engagement of 20 podcasts, and you made it look easy. I don't know how you did it, but you made it look easy getting me on 20 podcasts. And after we had finished the 20, I was talking to Melissa, my right-hand gal in the business, and like, we got to keep going. Like, this is fantastic. This is amazing. This is helping us so much. And it's giving us so much material to work with, not just being on the podcast, but then getting the audio recordings, getting the videos, producing the small video clips, which we can use in social and promotions and ads. It's we can't imagine not doing it. So thankfully, you have that ongoing retainer option where we get to continue working with you. And it has to be part of our equation now. It's just working so well and it's so valuable to us.